So weird. I've never really had any issues with quality or connection or anything like that, so something is off. Or it's just me who can't see better quality than 360p, which is a horrible quality if you get real, you know. But I needed to figure out some way to find some background thing on this. Fingers crossed. All the things are crossed. If this works, then I'm all for it. Oh wait, hold up. If this works, I'm all for it. Gotta see if I can. Everything works. Now, maybe this works, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Okay. And then it's all about finding that magical sweet spot where things just work. I also need to figure out... That was very loud for me. I don't know if it is that for you. Oh, nice. So I can turn it off and down and all the way, but you kind of forced to listen. There's something about that kind of music that just speaks to me. Love the openness. If a link shows up, I will join. Dude! Are you talking about the... Maybe I should also have... Okay, because this... Oh, my brain does things. Maybe I should also see if I can implement the API. Actually, not going to talk like that at all. What if I were able to create a connection between the Discord server and the live stream? That would be awesome. That would be really cool, actually. So I'm going to see if I can do that. I'm not going to do that right now, though. But I'm going to mute the server for an hour. Stian! Bro, perhaps a Viking Tales reading spiller. Okay, dude. Funny you should say that, because yesterday I was... You know how I'm thinking about using these Viking thingies and storytellings and stuff, and I want to get better at those. Yesterday, I just gave the AI all my story. My entire freaking life story. And then I had it read it as if a Viking story. Like a Viking tale of a young warrior who wanted to forge his legacy. It was amazing. Little Sven made awesome progress. He honored his father with light and love and swords and shield. I'm getting chills just by thinking about that. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something about this. All the things around me now. So I think I have to have one of these. So now you're literally with me. Oh, that's beautiful. Can I put that? Let's be creative with that as well, huh? Let's see if I can put that about there. Okay, and then I had to move it because now it's behind that. That adds a little something to it. I can read your comment, but still I can kind of... You're literally on the wall behind me, which is kind of cool, because then I can create something of an interactive thing behind there as well. I have no idea how much stuff is gonna happen. Now I'm just having fun. I have these, but that is kind of in the way now. No, that's not even working now. So weird. Okay. Does this work then? Who knows? Yeah, you have to subscribe to talk. I have, for the first time in the first history of the universe in my lifetime, for me personally, I have added a subscriber-only mode, which means that if you want to engage, you actually have to engage by being in the tribe on the YouTube channel as well. I'm gotta admit, there is some things behind that, like there's an agenda, because I'm trying to grow the channel as well. And then if I have a lot of people just watching the stream without subscribing, that's not going to grow. But if I have people subscribing and watching the channel and engaging in the chat, it's going to grow a lot faster because of the algorithm. So I have a few plans behind it. I'm just saying I'm devious. Nice background. Whoa, that's amazing. Yes, it works. Awesome. And that's just one of the things. Holy shit, if you saw the things that I've been playing around with. Let's say I always wanted to go and see Yggdrasil. Or no, that is actually, this is my professional background. This is Yggdrasil. You can see this. This is how it began. You know, the Legacy Forge, Valhalla, all that stuff began because of that. Yggdrasil. And then I was all like, but I'm a Viking. I'm in a freaking cave and it's concrete and stuff. So it just became concrete. But that was not cool. I wanted something more modern. So I just got in there and I just did my stuff. And it became weird. Where you have to... How? Oh, that's interesting. You just go into the channel. Go into the actual channel. Like just youtube.com/theseppola. And then subscribe. It won't work just right away. It is set for 5 minutes for some weird reason. You'll have to wait until it allows you, which is... It's weird. Now, I have to do some awesome stuff about my background because this is not going to be cool in the long run. It's black. Yes. Oh, yeah, you're talking about yeah. I had a cave, but it wasn't the I also have this. Actually, I like that. But I want to have something that is more me in terms of nature, in terms of, you know, this whole virtual reality kind of thing, all that stuff that is happening now, and blockchain technology and all those things. Have you seen, if you're a people, have you seen this thing? Hold on. Maybe you saw the thumbnail. Because the thumbnail of the video, or the YouTube screen right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it looks frickin' boss. And I have, it kind of opened a whole bunch of new ideas of where you could go with this, right? So we have an idea with the technology, creating businesses that's going to just fuel people to the stratosphere. Actually, stratosphere is not high enough, but to the universe and back. And we're going to create something where I'm basically almost viewing myself as a technology wizard, matrix red pill holder. You know, when I'm talking to people and they see the technologies that we are creating, and that is also pretty, I'm getting almost turned on by saying that, the technology that we're creating. Implementing new things into the world and doing awesome stuff. And then I have the blue and the red pill. It couldn't be more fitting. It could not be more cool. It could not be more fascinating to be on that adventure. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to really step it up. I need a cloak. I want to really go into this whole building a legacy. Literally. Not just saying build a legacy, because most people have not seen what I've been building. They've seen my comments in chat, and they've seen some fancy and cryptic posts, but they haven't seen anything yet. They will. They will see a lot. We will create stuff that is amazing. How is the sound right now? If there's someone in the chat right now, because for me it's loud, but I'm looking at the audio levels and it doesn't seem like it's very loud on your end. But these are the things that I have to really figure out how to nail. so that it is dependable and predictable and safe. And this thing that you cannot see, you want to see what I'm doing? Why not? I mean, it would make more sense if you actually saw the things. Maybe you learned something that you can do for yourself as well. Because I do things in a slightly different way than many people. This is what I'm looking at. This is literally what I'm looking at. This is my Elgato Stream Deck, which if you don't have that and you're an entrepreneur in this day and age, you get that. You need to get that. Because it makes your life easier. So now I need to go and create some stuff. Actually, no, I don't have it there. This could be a tutorial as well. Because Elgato has it all. They have a library ready to use. And I want this to be the mute. I want this to be the open. Now, right now, I see this. If I click that, and you can't hear shit. Which is really cool, and it is really simple. And if instead of fiddling around, oh shit, it also does two things. It kills off the background music because I programmed it to do that. Could not find this if I went through YouTube first. Is it possible to show something is going on, but one can only see if one subscribes? Yeah, you can see what's going on. You can see the stream, but you can't chat. You can't write in chat if you don't subscribe. And also, I'm gonna put it to public because that also might have something to do with it. Right now it's set to unlisted, so it's only in the tribe, but seemed like I figured something out. Now it is actually public for the first time since I got in here. Everything has been private, cloaked, weird. Now the thing is, though, Stream Elements bot is running. Did you guys see that? If you didn't see it in the chat, you probably saw that right now in the thingy. Who is that? Have I started a bot without really understanding that he is running? That means, basically, if the bot, who's now named Stream Elements, which is really original, does what he's supposed to, there are games to be played in chat. Or engagement thingies. And that is something that I did a lot of back in the day. Like having raffles and doing things so people could win shit. I sent candy to the US. Not that they need more of that, but it was a huge success. Now, I have to figure out something that will be productive. And I believe I had an idea. But what was the idea? Stream Elements. I'm backtracking. No, I thought I had it, but I didn't. Okay. Now I'm just going to try to see if I can remember anything that would be really good to have when I go live again, because, or when I'm live now, but when I'm live, having something that is just set, standardized, so that it doesn't have to prepare and fiddle around when I'm actually live. Two-person layout. No. Does anyone have any questions about Legacy Forge? Or anything that you might have on your mind that I could help you with? No, okay, that was supposed to be dramatic because I found something that I don't remember what is. And now it just went away, so... Let's zoom in. What did I do? Weird. Also, if you're on Discord, I have that also open. So if you have anything you want to ask, that is also a possibility to actually go into Discord and talk to the community through the YouTube channel. Which is a freaking genius idea. Thank you, dear person who thought of that. Because That means that if you are in Discord, you simply have to go into, let's say, bonfire talks, because that is kind of a that isn't in general. So everyone, not just those in tribe, will have access to the bonfire talks. If you're in that, I can simply pop in there, and we can talk, and that sound is going to be portrayed on the stream. I like that because that gets me all excited. And it seems pretty simple as well. It seems like someone should be able to do. If you don't find the tribe talk, you could go into the accountability room in tribe, because in there as well, it's simply clicking that channel and you pop into the channel. I see you popping in, and then I can pop in myself. There's a lot of popping, but I guess that's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm also thinking about, I'm not even thinking about, we just had a call today with Stian. And we tried something new that I am going to start implementing around human design. It blew my mind, and when we tried it on him, it seems like it's actually very freaking decent. Like, it did what it's supposed to do. He got clarity. The reading made sense. It was clear in logic for both parties, and now I'm able to use that in coaching. Now that is pretty insane, because that means I know the person I'm working with before I work with them, and that has been something that I've been hoping for such a long time. If you don't know what human design is, oh, I can write. Welcome, Teresa. Does anyone know about human design? And how is the sound? Does it sound like I'm shouting at you? Because in my ear, that music is very loud. I can actually read you guys almost live, because I figured out how to implement AI with human design. I should have had a voice effect on that, because that is so much more dramatic in my head than that made it sound on stream. Hola, yes. Let's see if I can update this thing. That's something that I can do here on live. I can figure out how to talk to it through that human design perspective, filter, I guess. We're actually live with the tribe right now. I like that. It feels good. Marius, who's also a tribe member, is trying to call me from the hospital. I have talked to him today, so he will have to wait. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can create a template. Okay, now I think I'm onto something. What would be a good question to ask in order to open up a I have missed this. All right, now we see. If it works now, pure generator is a type of person who is designed to respond to the world rather than initiate action. They are known for their endurance, determination, and ability to take on responsibilities and tasks. And potential questions to ask in order to open up would be, what does it mean? Now that is weird. It assumes that I already know what he's talking about. So that That would not be a very effective question. How is everyone doing, by the way? What are you doing today? And how is you doing? Are you having a fantastic day? Because if you're not, you need that. You need to have a fantastic day. Okay, so if a guy is a pure, or a girl is a pure generator, my daughter and my partner is a pure generator. Dramatic pause. There is so much I have to figure out in terms of how I can support my daughter, how I can support my girlfriend, how I can support everything around kind of that topic. Pizza? Pizza? Now you're making me think. Because, you know, the worst thing is when you're doing a live stream, when you're doing something live, let's say that you're doing something and you're playing a game. And then as you're focused, someone asks something in chat. And then when you come back to see the chat, because you've been playing, right? You see that something has been asked and you have no idea the context. And then you try to make up the context. I learned pretty well, very early on. Never assume. It's best to just, if you don't know the context, ask about it. That's why I have no idea about pizza. But I like it. It's good. Do you like this type of music, by the way? You ask, how are you doing? What are you doing today? Nice. Nice. So yeah, that too, the delay. But that is also something that I set from this part, from this side. So if I ask something, it's not necessarily live. It's about a minute afterwards, actually. But thank you. That is... You answered my question. I'm going to see if I can turn down the delay, because that... No, it's not in 60 seconds. Whom? Whom? Ah, see? What music? She can't hear the music? You can't hear this? Let me know how the music is in terms of my volume, because that is always hard to figure out. Pure generator, both you and your daughter. Before the pizza intro. Yeah, you are the same as my daughter and my girlfriend. But I have to figure out how to navigate them. I'm gonna turn down the music on my end and try to figure out a good... What? What? It's literally at like 2%. That's not possible. But now I should be able to hear almost the same as you. Music is a bit loud now. Thank you for saying that. I'm trying to keep an eye on the meter. Oh, you wonder what the meter is? Let me show you. See, this is the meter. I love being live again. So, I'm talking. And you see my thing goes all the way up to 0 or yellow. And then this is the music. Now, it's very loud or very low here, but I hear it very loud almost in my ear. If I do this, just let me know. Let me know where it is and I can make sure that it is not overwhelming, because that kind of sucks when it is. I could actually add a very interactive background, but that would be kind of weird. Let me know if the music is still a bit loud, by the way. Because of the delay, it's kind of hard to gauge. And this is why we have this live test stream, to figure out the best way to make this as well as we can. Maybe it's because you have volume on higher, because... But then Tor is shouting in my ears. Yeah. See that, and also I have a microphone that is extremely sensitive. I don't want to shout. I've had a crazy good day, delivered completed plan for 𝐓𝐡𝐞, full financial statement, and went spearfishing. Just had some fish cakes here on the good island of cold Norway. Nice. Nice. Oh. I think the way... yesterday was a crazy day because yesterday I had a conversation with a lot of people. How was the day yesterday? I would love to see if everyone had like this common theme because yesterday was insane. So many things happened. I think I finished a project where I put in 40 hours in about 30 hours, which is insane. I haven't seen that, but you have to see something. You have to check something out. I have to show this because I was blown away. Let's see. Now. Yeah, I scared myself too on that one. I can just mute that because there's music in it. So look at this. Here I am sitting, just doing my thing, right? I'm creating a web page. Now I spent almost 2 months figuring out the base design of the web page itself, like the home page. This was the rest of the project, and it was about 3 pages that I had to create for that. And it was done in 50 minutes, which is insane. I wonder if I can just do this. How much can I do that? It would be a lot more impressive if I'm just flying through it. This is pretty cool. 4x. There like a has to be a hotkey for that, right? This took like 50 minutes. This is insane. This is one of my clients, by the way. You're going to see her. She's going to change the world. There is also a full moon today. Exactly. Holy shit. Yesterday was insane for me as well. I put about 4 hours of work that delivered 2 days of work results. I find myself to struggle to wind down, though, when my head is going 200 kilometers per hour. Yeah, and that's because you don't know your human design chart. You know, me and Stian did this today. Because I have just started human design and studying it, and then I figured out how to really read it. And the thing is, it's so freaking creepily, you know, it's creepy accurate. Because it shows you how you are in certain situations. It shows you what to do in certain situations. It shows you where your flow is. And it shows your bullshit when you're trying to do shit that you're not supposed to do. Which is pretty freaking insane. Oh my god, dude. That's why I'm not sleeping at night. Didn't know there was a full moon, and that explains it. Okay, so let me talk to you about human design. It's based on the moon. It's based on astrology. Kinda. It's not really astrology. This takes astrology into the new age, and it takes it to the next level. Because in 1987, a guy took shrooms. Or some sort of psychedelic. And he found out that there were entities, and these entities talked to him. And he learned a system on how to read the human composition based on where you are born, what country, what city, the exact moment of the day, not really exact, but within a very, like, not too long of a time frame, on the date you were born. And then from there, it takes it 88 degrees before you were born. So 88 days, basically, where the universe and the moon and everything has impacted you in the womb until the moment where you were born. When you were born, the universe were in a specific setting. You know, if everything is made of crystals, you have crystals in your pineal gland, and there's crystals in everything that we use, and frequencies roam the universe, and the planets were just in that position when you were born. That means that you have a unique composition of how you are created. And they follow the chillin something in the Chinese alphabet or something. I still have a lot to learn about how this all came to be, but then you have astrology, and you have the subconscious and the conscious. You have a lot of shit that really comes up when you do one of these readings, and that's what I have started to do now in my coaching, because it makes much more sense to help someone who you really know how is programmed, because you know why they are acting. You know why they're acting in the way they are. And it's a lot easier to guide them when you know what they will thrive in. So, Frederick, just saying, if you're not feeling like you're calm in flow, it's because you're doing things that you're not supposed to try to do. Most people are. Like if people do something that they think is right when they feel is wrong, basically, you can fuck up a lot of things and create consequences for yourself that is not really necessary. For me, I am a hermit and a heretic, which means that I thrive alone. But I also thrive with other people. But I need my alone time. And when I do that, because I also have something in my my strategy, my life strategy, there's several things to this. My life strategy is to sit and be recognized and invited before I can basically talk, right? Before I can really show my value, I need to be asked first. It's like when people say, why didn't you say this before? It's because you never asked or had the patience to wait until I was finished with my thought. Because when I speak, I have a long, elaborate way to build up to my point. Many people don't have the time for that. Frederick, we have had a few conversations with you. You didn't have time for that. So the point got lost. And when that happens, I have two ways of reacting. I either get bitter or I get success. And right now I'm in that success streak because now I'm just following my flow. I feel bitterness when I do things that I'm not supposed to do. I can use that feeling to know that I'm not in flow and think, what do I really feel like doing in this situation? When I do that thing, I usually end up with success. And when I'm seeing everything that's happening around me now, there's a lot of success. So this is something that I'm going to start to really help people with. Because when they come into Tribe, and for those people who are interested in this right now, let me know. Because the more people I can read right now, the better. The better I can understand the tool, the better I can get used to it. Because by using it, I learn more. And then I can see these patterns. So in a while, I will be able to just look at this chart, which is one of many, many, many. And I can just see, okay, this person is this person is that. Because this is huge, 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 huge topic. And when I was introduced, it took about 1.5 hours from a guy who was studying it for a year. I was mind blown. Mind blown. Because he showed me exactly what I've been doing and then also how I should be reacting in situations. And after that, he said, this is just to show you the very tip of the top of the iceberg. After this is on you. You have an adventure to figure out more of this. But he put me on the right path. It changed my life, literally. Okay, so we have 2 people now that wants to. If you go to, let's do this, and we can do this live. I will read your information, and it's not really, sensitive information either. But I don't want to show that on stream, and neither should you. If you go to theseppola.com/onboarding, then I will get that information, the exact information that I need. But there will be more of a explanatory thing with the video that explains what you have to do, why you're doing what you're doing, and all those things. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to post this link in chat, and then you just click that. And as soon as you have sent that into me, I will look at it, and I will basically share with you what I see. You're going to be blown away. And I would rather have you on the stream when I do that, because I will not want to sit here and just assume a lot of shit if it's not correct. I just have to figure out where the heck I have too many tabs up. That is what's going on. I have way too many tabs. So Stian was a pure generator. I am a splenic projector. There are manifestors, generators, projectors, and reflectors, I think. I'm also think that there is 5, but I'm not sure what the last one is. I have to close down some tabs here. Seriously, bro. This is insane. I was supposed to, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to show you or share the link in chat. Sorry about that. Let's see. So if you go into that link, I will be able to see what it's all about, and then we will figure it out. I'm gonna need a cup of coffee. Are you excited? Is everyone excited? Today has been amazing so far. Because now, like, I had the idea 2 days ago when I talked to him. Yesterday I got the software, which was a lot of money. But I figured I have invested so much today or this month that, you know, this is going to help me. Really help me help other people. So this is basically a no-brainer. I need this. So I did. And because I did, everything else happened as well. I have a sit under my beard, which is a weird feeling. Oh, yes. Frederick, you have something to look forward to, believe me. I'm going to just get up my little tab here. Now I also know how to prepare for this for the next time. I just have to program it into my stuff, and then I'll be able to just do this live whenever. Click a button, and everything is just, let's do some quantum human design reading. I'm also going to talk to the first student of the inventor of the program. The first student of the inventor of this type of tool. Which is freaking insanely interesting. She probably has stories. Okay. I submitted now on the onboarding. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to go in and find it. Let's see. There we are. We have Frederick. And now I will take your submission and put it into the chart to get that first. Also remember, I'm doing this live, which is not something people do. But this is a test, and if it works... You're so young, bro. See. That. You know me. I'm talking to him through his form, by the way. Also, the time, the exact time of the day that you were born. That is very important, not just the date. Did you actually put that down there? No, okay. No, this is for me. Actually, if you know that, if you know the time of day you were born, put that in the chat. And then, good thing you did this, because then I can go in and see if I can add that. That's not here right now. The time was, no, it was not possible to submit it now. I submitted now in the overall. But if you have the time of the day that you were born, just put that in chat here and I can just take it from there. Now I'm adding that to the actual system here so that people will be able to submit that. Because that was actually the time. You wrote the date, but it was meant for the time. Now I'm adding the date, so that is no question what the next thing is. Year, month, day. Year. Okay. Year, month, day. There we go. Or 4 p.m. All right, let's see. Let's say if we are around 4 p.m. Come on. Based on all the information that it has to gather, I kind of understand why it sometimes takes a little bit of time to gather the entire composition of a human. How's the music now, by the way? Not overwhelming? All right, let's see. First, we start with the type, which is really interesting always to see. Okay, so where Stian is a pure generator, you are an emotional generator. You're the same as Nikola Tesla. And I think Nikola Tesla was a pure emotional generator, is that? I have to check that out afterwards because I have no idea. But Nikola Tesla was a generator and he was something about emotional, something about pure. So I think he's a mix of both of you. Could not input the time, just a date. Yes, I have added it so that you can input the time now. So for the people afterwards, they can input the time. But yeah, I should have thought of that, about that. I was excited when I created it. So now I'm going to use... I'm going to just take you through a few things. And then see if I can... actually, first, let's see if we can get a understanding of human design, just so we have something to put it on, because this is going to be a huge topic and it's going to be a lot of videos in a series on this. So I'm going to have to not only study, while I study I'm going to work with it, and then I'm going to have to create content in 𝐓𝐶 because I want people to not be overwhelmed when they get this. There's a lot that goes into it. But human design is a system that combines astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, and the chakras to create a unique design for each individual. It is based on the belief that everyone is born with a specific purpose and path in life, and that by understanding and living in alignment with one's design, one can tap into their innate talents and abilities and live a more fulfilling and authentic life. In human design, each person is assigned a specific type, strategy, and authority, which is determined by their birth date, time, and place. The system also includes a series of centers, which are believed to be the energetic centers of the body, and channels, which are lines of energy that connects the centers. The study of human design is meant to help individuals understand their unique characteristics and tendencies, and to make decisions that are in alignment with their true nature. So it's pretty huge. It's pretty all-encompassing, I would say, especially when you start thinking about frequencies and crystals and all that stuff. He's a manifester. Nice. So Frederick was an emotional generator. An emotional generator is one of the 5 types a person can be. The generator type is characterized by a strong connection to the physical world and a natural ability to manifest their desires and needs. The emotional generator is a subtype of the generator type and is defined by the presence of the moon in the defined throat center. And we're going to talk more about that when we get into this. Emotional generators are known for their strong emotional response and their ability to feel things deeply. And you do that. Damn, you feel things deeply. They are sensitive and they are empathic and often have a strong sense of intuition. They are driven by their feelings and emotions and are motivated to take action when they are emotionally invested in something. Emotional generators tend to be more sensitive to the emotional needs of others and often excel in careers that involve caring or helping other people. In terms of decision making, emotional generators are advised to wait for a clear emotional response before taking action. They are encouraged to trust their feelings and emotions and to listen to their body's response to the different situation. By learning to trust and follow their emotional guide, emotional generators can tap into their natural abilities and live in alignment with their true nature. And that is, we just got started. That is just the type that you are. Within that, you have the layers, the personality, the alignment, like not alignment, the environments that you are most comfortable in, how you should evolve in all the things. You're a heretical investigator. Oh. Let's see what that has to say for you. Okay, so in human design, a profile is a number that represents their overall tendencies and characteristics. The number is calculated based on the positions of the planets in the person's birth chart. A person with a profile of 5 to 1, which is what you have 5-1 heretical investigator, is said to have the heretical investigator. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. The number 5 is associated with the heretic archetype, which represents independence, creativity, and a willingness to challenge authority. Okay. People with a 5-1 profile tend to be innovative, open-minded. They're not afraid to go against the grain. They are driven by their need for personal freedom and autonomy, and may have a rebellious streak. Would you say that you've had a rebellious streak in your life? The number 1 is associated with the investigator archetype, which represents a strong desire for knowledge and understanding. People with a 1-5 profile tend to be curious and analytical, and have a strong need to learn and understand the world around them. They may be drawn to careers that involve research or investigation, and have a natural ability to solve problems and find answers. Together, the 5-1 profile indicates a person who is independent, curious, and innovative, and who is driven by a need to learn and understand. They may have a tendency to challenge authority and conventional thinking, and may excel in careers that allow them to explore and discover new ideas. Yeah, Frederick, this is scary accurate to listen to, and we haven't even started yet. Because this is all fine and good. This is your categories, your main elements that defines the person who was born at your specific time of birth. But once you get into the channels, and you start to see how these things mingle and how you should be in different situations, that's when it gets creepy. That's when it's like, did you pay attention to me my entire life, or is there no free will? My wife studies human design. She just got a reading from John Martin. Nice. My wife gave me an example of my type inside of human design, and I feel spot on. Right? It's insane. And if a person really knows how to navigate another person from their design chart, from their human design chart, they are able to help them, manipulate them. Like, what if I was an evil motherfucker? I could easily have gotten your birth date and then just figure it out, okay, because he reacts to this and that environment, I can stress him and use that to my advantage. Easy. So because of this, I'm going to always vet my new clients and see how they are, so that I better know how to understand and communicate with them. Because if I don't know that, there could be all sorts of, misconceptions and misunderstandings that could have been avoided if I just knew something about how they are built, more or less, their design, which is so insane. Okay, so I'm going to do this now. We're going to take it to the next level, to the definition of you. All right. So definition refers to the degree of which a person's center are defined or open. So the energetic centers of your body. And this is, the chakras and all that stuff. And it has the spleen, the heart, the anja, solar plexus, the throat, the head, the root or the base. There's a lot of things. There's not that many actually, but these are the centers, and within the centers there are channels that can be opened. So centers that are defined are believed to be more fully activated and able to process energy and information, while open centers are believed to be more receptive and responsive to external energies. The term split definition, which is what you have a split and a small version of that with channels 6, 10, 14, 30, 39, 46, and 49. I'm not sure what that means, but that is a lot of channels from what I've seen so far, so that's kind of interesting. And we're going to see what that means. So a split definition can either be a small or a large, depending on the number of defined centers a person has. That's a small one with all, okay. A small split definition is characterized by having 6 or fewer defined centers, where the large split definition is characterized by having 7 or more defined centers. People with a small split definition tend to have a more reactive and responsive approach to life, as their open centers allows them to be more receptive to external energies and influencers. They may have a tendency to follow their feelings and emotions, and may be more sensitive to the needs of others. So this just plays along with your with the last one we went over, which was your type, right? The emotional generator. So and maybe more sensitive. They may also have a greater ability to adapt and adjust to challenging circumstances or changing circumstances, which I would say you are, Frederick. I just froze, didn't I? You are very... I just froze again, didn't I? So yeah, you I would say that you adapt very well to changing circumstances. You have done that your entire life, like moving around your globe and doing all these things, putting yourself into situations. Maybe you're like me. I thrive on the survival thing where I have to survive. If not, I die. And I would not have it any other way. I like to be in that situation. Some would say that is sadistic, but maybe you are the same. Subconsciously, that's where you're supposed to be. Maybe you just have to know how to act in those situations, which is what we're going to figure out. Because when we get to the environments and how to act, ooh, dude, there's a lot of things in there. Like Stian, he's predestined to live in the nature and to be free and adventurous because he's created that way. His chart told us point blank that is what he has to do. In terms of decision making, people with small split definition are advised to wait for a clear response from their body before taking action. They are encouraged to trust their feelings and emotions and to listen to their body's responses to different situations. By learning how to trust and follow their inner guidance, people with a small split definition can tap into their natural abilities and live in alignment with their true nature. And we're going to get into how you can actually do that with this thing too. It's crazy because it tells you not only, why things are, but it also tells you how to navigate. And that just got me. That was when I was... That's where I'm at. Survival purposely. Yeah, exactly. Now we're going to talk about your incarnation cross. And that is something that I really haven't dove in as much yet. So I'm going to learn. That's what also is interesting with this stream. This is for me to learn. I'm studying this as we're going. So I'm learning with you guys, and I can get used to this. Okay. So, the incarnation cross is a specific pattern in a person's birth chart that is believed to represent the unique challenges and lessons that a person will encounter throughout their lifetime. The incarnation cross is made out of 4 centers, the energetic centers of the body, and their corresponding lines, so lines of energy that connects to the centers. The incarnation cross of lax refinement, which is what you have, and number 1, is made out of the following centers and lines. The left angle, LA, so that's the LA of lax. You enjoy using Discord. Weird. Sorry for jumping out of that. The left angle represents a struggle between the individual and society. and the need to find one's own path in life. Would you say, Frederick, that you are apt to find your own path in life? Or do you follow the advice of everyone else? Because if you are one that follows your own path in life, it was predestined the moment you were born. Now, your incarnation is lax, L-A-X refinement. So the refinement X, the refinement center, for the refinement X, this is the definition. The refinement center represents the process of refining and perfecting one's skill and abilities. It is associated with discipline, self-control, and the ability to focus and concentrate. I would say that you have discipline and self-control. Sometimes you don't give yourself credit for that. We have to do that all the time. Now you see that you are basically predestined to do what you do. We just have to figure out a better flowy way to do it so that you don't feel pressured. Because you have a gift, but going with the flow of the gift, that's where magic happens. So the first line, because you have lax refinement 1, the first line represents the need to develop independence and self-sufficiency. It is associated with taking responsibility for one's own actions and decisions. Together, the lax refinement 1 incarnation cross indicates a person who may face challenges related to finding their own path in life and developing their skills and abilities. They may struggle with the need to balance their individual needs and the desires of expectations of society, and may need to work on developing discipline and self-control in order to focus and concentrate on their goals. So I would say that you've already done that because you are now working on your goals. You just need, as we said. They may also need to take responsibility for their own actions and decisions and work on developing their independence and self-sufficiency. By learning to navigate these challenges and lessons, a person with this incarnation cross can tap into their unique gifts and abilities and live in alignment with their true purpose. What do you think so far? What do you think so far about this? Does it resonate? Because now we're going to get into the strategies, and that's where I found most clarity. That's where Stian found most clarity, and that's where I know that you will find most clarity because I have specific examples to show you this thing. All right, are you ready to get your mind blown out of the water? This is where I found out that I need to do this in order to get this. Once I did that, it's like having a map to the freaking future. Like, you know where to go, and that is creepy. I find it very fascinating. It does resonate a lot. I look forward to finding clarity. Yes. So, strategy is the category that we are on now. And just remember also, we are literally just reading the labels of your box. We haven't gone into the box yet. And I don't think we can do that on this stream because I think that would take hours. And there's a reason people are taking a lot of money for that, because they have to read and interpret a lot of stuff. But just from taking this surface level view of you, you're going to learn a lot. So a person's strategy is a specific approach to decision making and action that is based on their unique design. The strategy is determined by the combination of a person's type, so one of 5 categories based on the positions of the planets in the birth chart. Their inner authority, which is the specific center that is responsible for decision making, and their definition, the degree to which their center are defined or open. The respond strategy, which is what you are, is a strategy that is recommended for people who have a generator type, which is what you have, and our undefined throat center. See, now we don't know if you have an undefined throat center yet. I'm going to see about that just in a bit. The center is associated with communication and self-expression. This strategy is based on the idea that generators are most effective when they wait for a clear and physical response from their body before taking action. Also being asked. You have to wait for a sign to basically shine. This response is known as the sacred yes, and is characterized by a feeling of openness and expansion in the body. People with the response strategy are advised to wait for the sacred yes before making decisions or taking action. They are encouraged to listen to their body's responses to different situations and to trust their feelings and emotions, By following this strategy, generators can tap into their natural abilities and live in alignment. And you are an emotional generator, so it would make a lot of sense if you trust your emotions and stop thinking so much. And I don't know how many times we've said to you, don't think, don't overthink, because you have a feeling inside of you that's telling you something, but you haven't given it enough credit yet. But now that you know that you're not just an emotional generator, you have a strategy of respond through the sacred yes of your body. Meaning that whenever you need an answer, you have to wait until you feel it before you do anything about it. So that's one. Now we're going to go into the theme, which is the two main feelings that you will encounter as you go through life. Because I have success, which is funny, success and bitterness. If I don't find success, I get bitter. Success is defined in many ways for me, but it makes sense because if I try to do anything and I don't make it the way I want, I feel bitter, and that is a very apt emotion. I find it very fascinating. Yeah, okay, I'm just reading an old one. Explain. So, your theme. Themes are specific patterns and tendencies that are reflected in a person's birth chart. The theme are determined by the positions of the planet and their corresponding energies. And they are believed to represent the challenges and opportunities that you will encounter. The themes of satisfaction and frustration refers to a person's overall tendencies related to these emotions. Satisfaction is a feeling of contentment and fulfillment, while frustration is a feeling of disappointment and annoyance. A person with these themes can experience both of these emotions throughout their lifetime, of course, and may have a tendency to swing between feelings of satisfaction and frustration. But in terms of how these themes may manifest in a person's life, someone with these themes may experience moments of great satisfaction and fulfillment, but may also encounter challenges and setbacks that led to feelings of frustration whenever they did something that really didn't flow with them. They may need to work on finding balance and finding ways to maintain a sense of satisfaction in the face of the challenges and obstacles. So by learning to navigate these themes and finding ways to find fulfillment and contentment, a person can live a more fulfilling and authentic life. So literally just doing things that you find to be satisfying. If you're satisfied and you do things that feels right, I'm going to do a summary of all these things put together afterwards. Because of your emotional connection and all that stuff, seems like you're going to have a lot of things happening if you just feel and don't work so much. Be satisfied. Be happy with what you got, bro. I'll post. No, you have the same brain as 𝐓𝐞, which is basically you're taking in a lot of your surroundings. There are two things in is there two? No. Yes, there are just two. The brain can be either active or passive, and you have a passive brain. Passive brain is characterized by a more receptive and observant approach to the world. People with a passive brain tend to be more introspective and reflective. Well, yeah, I know that you are reflective. And may prefer to take in information and process it internally before taking action. They may be more sensitive to the energies and emotions of others, and may have a strong intuition. People with a passive brain may benefit from taking the time to consider different opinions and alternatives before making decisions. They may also benefit from setting aside time for reflection and introspection in order to better understand their own thoughts and feelings. By learning to trust and follow their inner guidance, people with a passive brain can tap into their natural abilities. And then, find the flow. And now, you have a low determination, which is the first time I've seen that. Basically, you're just taking in a lot of things in the world through that passive brain. So you have to be aware of what is yours and what is someone else's, especially when you are emotionally connected, because then you're taking on feelings and emotions that are not yours. And is it then really your part, your role, your duty to carry that shit when it's not yours? I wouldn't say it is. But your determination seems to be a difficult one to conquer. While we wait, how is this going so far? Would you say that you have more clarity in terms of how you should act in different environments? And when I say environments, I haven't even gotten to the environment thing, where you find the thing that is most aligned with where you should be to find the focus and flow. Well, that is very relatable. I surely will reflect on this. See, he's going to reflect on the fact that I said that he is a person who likes to reflect. I have found myself that when I do listen to my intuition and emotion and not reason logically, the results are better for me. Yes, and that is a very strong point that you should just, now that you know that defined by your chart at the moment of your birth, you are supposed to be more in flow when you are passive and introspective and reflective and just following your intuition and feelings and all that stuff. Just knowing these things is gonna make you act differently when you come in a situation where you feel uncomfortable because you feel or think that you're gonna do something different. But do what you feel, not what you think. It's like SLS. It's literally like SLS, and that's why I love this so much, because every single person is unique. There are categories that can be explained to a person, sure, but every single chart is 100% unique to the person that has the chart, because there are so many different things and layers and levels between this or underneath. This is, as I said, simply the categories, the top level of a person, which makes me so fascinated that I'm kind of blown away. But your determination is low. So determination refers to a person's overall level of drive, motivation, and perseverance. Determination can be either high or low, and it's determined by the positions of the planets. Low determination refers to a person who may have a tendency to be less driven and motivated than others. They may have a more relaxed and easygoing approach to life, like surfing and other things, and may not be as focused on achieving specific goals and outcomes. People with low determination may be more spontaneous and adaptable, and may be more open to new experiences and ideas. People with low determination may also benefit from finding ways to increase their motivation and drive, such as setting clear goals and finding ways to stay focused and motivated. They may also benefit from finding activities and endeavors that are personally meaningful and fulfilling, as this can help to increase their sense of purpose and drive. By learning to tap into their natural abilities and finding ways to increase their determination, people with low determination can live a more fulfilling and authentic life. What do you feel? Because that you have said many times too that you are demotivated, many things are happening, and then usually when you come back from doing an ice bath or surf or whatever, you feel better. Again, we have signs of what this will do in your life. You also have the same thing as 𝐓𝐡𝐞, which is your cognition, how you view the world, how you make sense of the world around you. You are feeling. So, just to clarify, not only are you a emotionally pure generator, or just emotional, right? You're an emotional generator. And not only did you have a lot of others like strategies that makes you take in more of emotions and stuff around you. You have a passive brain, which just adds to that. And then you have a cognition of feeling. Again, intuition and everything. I feel that's very accurate, and I use all these activities to increase drive for sure. When I do not have that, my sense of purpose and drive also fades off. Yeah. Exactly. And now we come into the feeling, or the cognition category, which refers to a person. It refers to the way in which a person processes and understands information. Cognition can either be thinking, feeling, or instinctive. It is determined by the positions of the planet. The feeling cognition refers to a person who processes and understands information based on their emotions and personal values. People with feeling cognition tend to be more empathic and intuitive, and may have a strong connection to their feelings and emotions. They may be more sensitive to the emotional needs of others, and may have a strong sense of compassion and understanding. You may benefit from taking your time to consider your feelings and emotions before making any decisions. Also, you might find benefits in finding ways to express and communicate your feelings in a healthy and positive way. That goes for everyone, but you are predestined almost. Like, you're programmed to feel more than many people. You also have a similar thing to Stian. Stian has an environment of valleys, wide, meaning that he needs spaces to just explore and get around and just, you know, bask in big open areas. You have a valley of narrow. So you have the same environment, but you have a different sub-environment than Stian. The environment refers to the overall energetic environment in which a person is most comfortable and effective. The environment can either be mountains or valleys. Actually, it can be a lot more than that, but it just takes in mountains and valleys right now. I have kitchen, of all things. They are determined by the planets as everything else, and it refers to a person who is most comfortable and effective in a more focused and narrow environment. People with this environment tend to prefer to work on one thing at a time, and may have a strong need for solitude and quiet in order to think and work effectively. They may benefit from an environment that allows them to focus and concentrate on specific tasks or projects. People with a valley and a narrow environment may struggle in a more chaotic and unpredictable environment, and they may find benefit from finding ways to create structure and stability in their lives. They may also benefit from finding ways to set boundaries and to create space for solitude and quiet in order to get better focus and concentration of their work. By learning to create an environment that is conducive to their natural abilities, they will feel more in flow. You have kitchen? Don't you hate to cook? Yeah, but the thing is like I haven't really gone into the definition of the kitchen yet, but I think it was kitchen dry. And let me see just now what that means, because ironically, I haven't really dove into my chart. I have done, well, Stian was the first one I actually did all the way, because I got mine from Jason when I first got introduced to this. Now I have to reload some stuff because sometimes we have to reload some stuff. So let's see what my kitchen dry means. It refers to a particular type. Okay, interesting. But this is also just, I have to still study into this because this might not even be completely correct. I find this weird. The classification kitchen dry likely refers to a particular type of kitchen that is characterized by being dry or lacking in moisture. This could refer to a kitchen that is relatively free of humidity, equipped with features such as a ventilation system or a dehumidifier. I think he took that very literal. Hold on. Yeah, I was in a new one. There we go. Now we're back on track. That got weird for a moment. Can be mountains. Kitchen dry refers to a person who is most comfortable and effective in a structured and organized environment. People with this environment tend to prefer to work in a clear and orderly environment and may have a strong need to structure and stability. They may benefit from an environment that allows them to focus and concentrate on specific tasks and projects. kitchen and dry environment may struggle. May struggle in a chaotic and unpredictable environment and may benefit from finding ways to create structure and stability in their lives. Hell yeah. They may also benefit from finding ways to set boundaries and create space for solitude and quiet in order to get better focus and concentrate on their work. You see, that's the thing. When I have in my office right now, I'm sitting here and it's messy as fuck. And I've been so freaking stressed out by it for so long. I still haven't been able to purely make it mine, right? Because every time I do, there's more stuff that just kind of goes all over the place. Because this was used as a storage closet for everyone else. I was trying to create my perfect little thing. And when I did, the first months afterwards, it was pristine. I had a freaking lamp that was showing on a freaking magic mushroom. It was amazing. You know, I was taking pictures. I was doing all this effective work. Now it's all over the place. So I want to almost just move, so I can have a fresh start all alone. That I can just design everything that I want. I don't want everyone else to just haul their stuff at me because I get stressed out. So yeah, I can definitely relate to having a dry kitchen environment or a thing alignment. Now your environment style is observer. Observed, actually. There are three, observer, observe, and observed, I think. So you have observed. Let's see what that means then, shall we? It refers to the way in which a person reacts with and is affected by his or her environment. The environment style can be observed. I'm not sure if this is correct, actually, so I'm not gonna... Observed, considered, or contemplative. Maybe that is correct. I'm gonna have to go into that and check out. But observed refers to a person who tends to observe and absorb their environment rather than actively shaping or influencing it. People with an observed environment style may be more reactive and responsive to their environment, may have a tendency to go with the flow and adapt to changing circumstances. They may be more open and receptive to new ideas and experiences, and may have a strong ability to adapt and adjust to different situations. So you have that from your emotional generator as well. People with an observed environment style may benefit from finding ways to create stability and structure in their environment in order to better focus and concentrate on their work. They may also benefit from finding ways to set boundaries and create space for solitude and quiet. So the same thing as me when I have my environment style, my kitchen. I want to be alone when I'm working, and some people might work better in teams, and they are great at that. You know, sitting in a shared office space or whatever, and just as a team. I can't do that. I feel stressed out when I do that. So far, what do you think? Because there's a lot of things to do on this. I see now that when I do a reading, I have to put off time and I have to figure out how to figure out a structure on this. Now I know more or less how much time it's going to take because we're basically halfway there through the foundation, just top, the tippy top. So now I'm realizing how huge of a topic this is. We still have the personality tab to go through. I can show you. How much this is. This is you, Frederick, by the way. This is the channels and the centers. These are the stars and the symbols of the stars, I guess. The R is for passive, the L is for active. So the personality is the conscious. Think the personality is the conscious. Design is the subconscious. So in terms of personality, you are more of a passive thing. Yeah, so brain passive. So you see everything is standing right here, right? And Based on this, you also have this, which also have open channels, and you have a lot of different things all over the place. You can see you have a few connections, which are these things. So 4253. 4253 is maturation, which is your transferred, and your transferred view is survival. Transferred view, actually, we have to take those because those give a lot of clarity into basically what you will feel when you do certain things. So let's do personality as well. And then after that, I'm going to figure out a way to make this most efficient and valuable to other people after I do that, because I need to basically block off time, it seems. As you saw, you had a personality that I called receptive. That is the same thing that Stian has. Are you still in the stream, by the way? Do I still have people with me on the stream? Seems like I have one person. You're sitting here still. Cool. Because if you were not here, then that would be kind of... So, personality refers to a person's overall tendency and characteristic, based on the positions of the planet when you were born. The personality can be either projective or receptive, and is determined by the presence of the moon in a defined or undefined center, the energetic centers of the body. So receptive, which you have, refers to a person who tends to be more receptive and open to the world around them. Everything is kind of aligning you with just taking in things from around you, instead of acting towards your environment. People with a receptive personality may be more introspective and introverted. You may prefer to take in information and process it internally before taking action, and they may be more sensitive to the energies around them. They may benefit from taking time to consider different opinions and alternatives before making decisions. They may also benefit from setting aside time for reflection and introspection in order to better understand their own thoughts and feelings. By learning to trust and follow their inner guidance, people with a receptive personality can tap into their natural abilities and live in flow. Your motivation is need. My motivation was desire, I think. So I don't really know what a need has to say, but let's figure that out. So, the motivation refers to the driving force behind a person's actions and decisions. Motivation can either be desire or need. So I'm the opposite, I think. Maybe. I have no idea, actually. And is determined by the positions of the planets in the birth chart. Need motivation refers to a person who is driven by a deep-seated need or desire to fulfill a specific purpose or goal. So you have this feeling of needing to succeed. That sounds like a pretty freaking powerful emotion, actually. Especially with the fact that you are an emotional generator. And passive. And intuitive. And all the other things that is just continuing to back up the fact that you have more emotional power than you would have logical power. So more subconscious than conscious. Which is pretty cool, in my view. So people with need motivation may benefit from setting clear goals, finding ways to stay focused and motivated. They may also benefit from finding activities and endeavors that are personally meaningful and fulfilling, as this can help increase their sense of purpose and drive. You need to do something that actually calls to you, because if you're not motivated and need to do something within it, then you're not going to do shit. Feels pretty accurate. I need to succeed. That is strongly relatable. Exactly. I have a desire. I always thought it was a need. But my desire to... Well, actually, need and desire is kind of two sides of the same coin, if you see it that way, but I'm going to learn more about this. My desire for success didn't really happen until I had something that necessitated that desire. I needed that desire. I needed my current situations in order to fuel my desire. And my chart is based on my my ability to surrender and go through judgment. So my entire history and all that stuff is more or less just a precursor that I had to go through in order to find my desire. That is really interesting. So, your sense category is acceptance. Sense refers to a person's overall approach to understanding and interacting. It can be acceptance, rejection, or curiosity. It is determined by the positions of the planets. Now, the acceptance sense refers to a person who tends to approach the world with an open and accepting attitude. People with the acceptance sense tend to be more open and receptive to new ideas and new experiences. They may have a strong ability to adapt and adjust to different situations. This may be more accepting. They may be more accepting of others and their differences, and may have a strong sense of compassion and understanding. People with acceptance sense may benefit from finding ways to embrace change and adapt to new situations. They may benefit from finding ways to express their compassion and understanding towards others. So when you get to express your compassion and understanding towards others because you are a very empathic Hold on, we have a virus alert. The Defender antivirus did not find any threats since your last summary. Your device was scanned 2 times. It just came right underneath stop streaming, so I thought that stop streaming was a big red. No. It wasn't, though. So you have a very innate sense of taking care of others and being emotional response to the world. So, the trajectory is a novice. And the trajectory is what did I have on that? I was a observer. I was observer. You are a novice, and I have still yet to figure out what that actually means. Would be great though if we could. Sometimes he has to think a lot. Because of that, I will have a smoke in the meantime. It's strangely how exact this is. Curious to learn more about how the answers are generated. I told you, it's generated on the exact placement of the planets and your composition of your universal being, your energies and crystals alignment at the time of your birth, down to the very second or minute. The more precise you are with the time of day of your birth and the place where you were born, the more accurate it is, because it takes in the I Ching, it takes in the Kabbalah, it takes in astrology, it takes in quantum physics, it takes in everything and then combines them. Because you have basically readings based on your astrology and your personality subconscious, or personality conscious, I think. Personality and design, so conscious and unconscious. Yeah. And when you mix the conscious and the unconscious together, there is something called a juxtaposition, which is what you get when you mix them. And when you take your numbers based on where the planets were and all that stuff, with the I Ching and all those things, all those systems, you generate a chart that is based mathematically on how the universe were when you were born. And then those numbers make out your chart. And that chart opens energetic channels, it opens all these things that you are basically more or less meant to do. You are wired to do certain things. You're wired to be in certain situations and environments. And you're wired to respond to certain things in that specific way. Because when you do that, you just tap into your nature. So it's not about telling you how to be. It's about basically reminding you of who you are. So that you see, when you listen to this, You can think back to situations where you did a specific thing and got a specific outcome, and knowing that you have that type of a brain, or you have that type of communication, or you have that type of a way of optimizing an environment, then you know how you should have reacted instead. It's like in a trip. If I was to try to tell other people how they are supposed to go through their own mind, through their own trip, that wouldn't work. Additionally, me as an observer needs to just sit back. I also have to be invited and recognized before I talk. So for me, during a trip, I sit there and I observe. And if they seem to need me, need my guidance, I will know that when they actually reach out themselves and ask specifically for that thing. Until then, I just shut the fuck up. And when I do that, magic happens every single time. And I'm a very patient guy, so I can just sit back. And you too, you have a respond. What was it? I still have to memorize the different categories, but your strategy is respond, which is the same thing. You just wait until you are called upon, until you hear the sacred yes within your emotions. When you feel aligned in what you're supposed to do, and you know deeply that this is now I do this, the sacred yes, then you do that. Damn, that's high tech. That's quantum physics, bro. And that is why I love this, because it just speaks to me. I could not have been a tarot reader. I could not have been a mystic, you know? I could not have been sitting there with a crystal ball in some dark tent or throwing magical runes. No, I'm a very scientific driven guy, and when I heard of this and how it was made, I was all sorts of fired up because I've tried tarot in a Viking theme. And now with this, I can kind of create my own interpretation and create a game around it all. Because everything, when it is energetically focused upon, and if you have the intention and you basically remove the filter, everything has a tendency to show you some aspect of the truth. And if you have this as a guiding compass from the beginning, oh, that's insane. I know what to do now. This is what I have to do. I have to listen to my own deep guidance and not just react. Yes, exactly. We're not done yet. We still have a few more. Your trajectory was novice, right? The trajectory refers to the overall direction and growth path of a person's life. So this one is important. This is one of the big ones, bro. The trajectory can either be novice, student, or master. No, I don't find that accurate. There are more. Because I had observer. So there is more of that. But I'm going to figure that out. The novice trajectory refers to a person who is in the beginning of their growth journey and is just starting to explore and discover unique gifts and abilities. How is that possible? People with a novice trajectory may be in a process of learning and discovery. Maybe that's just your overall kind of default. You're always trying to learn and discover more. And maybe open to new ideas and experiences. That we know because you were that from acceptance sense. They may be open or receptive to change and may be more adaptable and flexible in their approach to life. This is basically building upon everything that we've seen so far. You may benefit from finding ways to embrace change and adapt to new situations, which you are. You are basically following your design. The only thing that I've seen so far is just trusting your intuition more. Yeah. So after that, we also have the view perspective. And in this view perspective category, you are a peripheral. What does that mean? Well, let's find out. So the view perspective. The view perspective is the person's overall perspective of the world and their place in it. It can either be central, peripheral, or absent. Is that true? What is mine? No, mine is peripheral. Sorry, yours are focused. So now I shouldn't go back and forth. And also, don't take all of this with a grain. Like, don't take all of this for absolute fact. You do what you feel is that you feel applies to you, because there are still many things that I have to go in and hone and learn. So just as Jason told me, this is just the start. If this resonates with you, then you should dive further down. But don't take it as absolute truth. This is just how the universe were when you were born, so it's not that big of a deal. Now we're waiting again. It's just waiting until it starts. How are we doing so far, guys? Should we have some music on by the way? Because it can't be awesome just to listen to my voice. We have a person in the tribe as well, and she should be here. She should have been here. And she's trying the meditations that we have in the resource section of the tribe, and she's saying that it was even more intense this time. Very trippy, and felt like blockages were relieved, and such a bodily thing happened. I was not in my head. It all became such an organic experience. Today has been a very good day. That's why I love those meditations, because they literally make you pop. They pop you out. I have to listen to my own deep guidance and not just react. Didn't I just see? There. What is happening? I love the music. I'm great, but anyone else here? Yeah, see, are there anyone else than Frederick here right now? Oh, we're just talking about you, Frederick, so maybe that is why people don't want to hang around, because there's no added value for them. But this is important to get through, because I want to really nail human design. I'm going to focus. This is going to be my life journey from here on out. I'm going to go as far as I can within human design and see what I can learn from it. But let's jump into the view perspective. Focused. Your focused view perspective refers to a person who tends to have a more focused and specific perspective of the world. Sorry about that. Oh, he might actually start to write a whole bunch, so I'm just going to mute that. Focused and specific perspective of the world. People with a focused view perspective may have a narrow and specific view of the world, and may be more focused on specific goals and outcomes. They may be more driven and motivated, and may have a strong sense of purpose and direction. People with the focused view perspective may benefit from setting clear goals, so we already know that. But I didn't. Do you feel like you have a very specific set of viewing the world? Because that is so open for interpretation, that is crazy. Like, I have a set view of the world, but in a cosmological sense, which means that it's basically limitless. And with a limitless sense of the worldview, how is that? Well, my focus was peripheral, but I still can't kind of get that to match. But you have to do something that feels meaningful and fulfilling. We always knew that. Your view is wanting. So it refers to a person's overall approach. It could be wanting, lacking, or having. I'm not sure if that is correct. Yeah, okay, I have wanting. Do I? View, wanting, yeah. We have the same then. We have the same view. You and me, we have the same view of the world. Kinda. So it refers to a person who tends to approach the world with a sense of desire and longing. People with a wanting view may have a strong drive and a motivation, and may be driven by desire to achieve specific goals. They may have a strong need to fulfill their desires and ambitions, and may have a strong sense of purpose and direction. They may benefit from setting clear goals, again, So now we have gone through transferred view. We have two more, and then channels. Channels is going to make it more personal. And then I think we're going to do a summary of all of it, because then we have a more... We're going to see if there's a more clear way of interpreting the entire chart of you and your channels. So your transferred motivation. I think that transferred was... It's what happens when you're not yourself. When you're not living in your flow, transferred motivation is what you'll feel. You will feel kind of a fear emotion, according to this. Something around fear refers to a person who may have a secondary motivation that is driven by fear. So you're doing things based on fear, almost, but a fear of something. So let's say that Michelle, she's a wonderful mother, but she's also a wonderful mother who is motivated by the fear of death, which will take away her ability to be with her daughter, which is a very strong motivator. May benefit from exploring and understanding their fears, in order to gain a deeper understanding of their motivation and actions. They may also benefit from finding ways to overcome and manage their fears in order to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. So face your fears, because those are actually your motivator. If you know how to basically turn those into something that can work for you, that's good. My transferred motivation is desire. So when I'm not in my pure self, my motivation is actually innocence, my main motivation. But my transferred motivation, when I'm not living in myself, is desire. How does that work? I'm going to figure that out. Not right now, because now we're doing you, but that's interesting. So, people with a fear transferred motivation may have a deep-seated fear that drives their actions and decisions, even if they're not consciously aware of it. This fear may be related to a specific event or circumstance, and may be more generalized or confused. So don't take this as the absolute truth. There are many layers to it, and that is why there are so many channels and so much depth after this. Your transferred view, which is what you're not meant to pursue. That's interesting, because, and this is where it gets kind of counterintuitive almost. I think I have a very open and constantly changing version of how I view the world, which is in itself kind of a set way to think about the world, that it is very changing and always expanding. But transferred view, and this is, as I said, it gets kind of contradictory, because it's what you're not meant to pursue. And you had survival as your... Where was your survival thingy? I don't see it. Was it in the heretical investigator, or maybe the emotional generator? Because with this, you're transferred. You should not try to just focus on being in survival mode all the time. This might also be because I've taken it once at a time instead of seeing it all in one, as we will just a moment. So, transfer view refers to a person's secondary or underlying perspective of the world, which may be different from their primary or conscious perspective. Transferred view can either be survival, security, or love. I'm not sure if that's correct, because mine is also survival. Okay. I don't think I've seen so many more. It's determined by the position of the stars. Survival transfer views refers to a person who may have a secondary perspective of the world and is focused on survival. People with survival transfer view may have deep-seated need to ensure their own survival and well-being, and may make decisions based on this need. This may be related to a specific event or circumstance, or may be more generalized or diffuse. People with this view may benefit from exploring and understanding their need of survival in order to gain a deeper understanding of their perspective of the world. They may also benefit from finding ways to manage their need for survival in order to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. Remind me, if you remember, what was the last place where we found survival in your chart? Because I can't see it. Now I'm going to give you a complete kind of a summary, and maybe as we go forward, this will be all we need when I read anyone, because that would be so much more effective. So, emotional generator, we know that. We know that you are a 5-1 heretical investigator who tends to be independent and original in their thinking, may be drawn to exploring new ideas and concepts, and may have a strong desire to understand the world around them. You're split with that 6, 10, 14, 30, 39, 46, and 49. Refers to a person who has a split or conflicting energy in their aura. This may make it more difficult for them to make decisions, as they may feel pulled in different directions. And your lax, your LAX 1 was maybe more, it refers to a person who is sensitive and introspective, and may need more time and space to process their experiences. Respond in your clear and specific invitation in the form of the sacred yes. And your guidance, your satisfaction, frustration, the themes, is the overall tendencies and patterns in life. So you are likely to experience satisfaction and fulfillment, while those with a frustration theme may be more likely to experience frustration and challenges. So actually you have both. You have both the unconscious and the conscious. So when you're not doing something that you're meant to do, you're going to feel frustrated, which is something that we all do, but there's more to this when you add the channels and the energetic centers and the definitions and all that stuff, which is definitely something that I have to put myself into, and maybe not able to do that today, but we're going to see. Your passive brain makes you able to take in everything around you subconsciously, basically. And your feeling cognition, your low determination refers to a person who have a lower level of drive and motivation, so you need to find systems and things to support you being motivated, like doing the things that you love. The feeling is a person who tends to rely on their feelings and emotions to understand and make decisions about the world, and they may be sensitive and immature perspective, blah, blah, blah. Said that you have to have a orderly environment. We said that. Need acceptance. We're almost at the channels. The novice trajectory is a person who is at the beginning of the growth journey, which is weird. Like, I would say that is more of a, you are always curious to learn more and discover more, and, you know, always wanting to figure out more about your gifts and abilities and grow. That's why we met, because you were the first, you were actually the first one. The very first one that took action to this. So let's talk about the channels. You have opened 2551, which is initiation, 3440, which is community, and 4253, maturation. This refers to the 3 channels in human design that are activated in this person's chart. Channels are pathways of energy that connects different centers and energetic centers, blah, blah, blah. The specific, okay. I'm going to go into the specific channels. 2551. I'm also going to see what that looks like on your actual chart because it's a pretty big one. 25. Where are you? I think I'm in the shadow side. So there are open pathways to both the shadow side and the conscious side, which makes sense if you think about it. Now, 2551 is initiation, and this is associated with leadership and the ability to take initiative. It can indicate a person who is confident and decisive, and who is able to take the lead and inspire others, much like you talked about your last job. 3740 is community. This channel is associated with the ability to build and maintain relationships with others. It can indicate a person who is outgoing and sociable, and who is skilled in building and maintaining strong and positive connections with others. Well, with your job, again, you're kind of like me in that sense, where I love to build networks, and you seem like the same thing. 4253 is the maturation. This channel is associated with personal growth and development. It can indicate a person who is introspective and self-aware, and who is committed to ongoing personal growth and development. Activation of these channels in a person's chart can indicate a person who is confident, outgoing, and committed to personal growth. They may be skilled at building and maintaining relationships, and may have a strong ability to take the lead and inspire others. Now that was the foundation. That was just the top of human design, like the intro, which really makes you think, because that was what, 2 hours I've been live, and I guess we were doing that for a good hour. So that is a huge block that we have to take account for when I'm onboarding people. I need to find a better and more effective way that can just kind of give me the summary of a person just by looking at the chart, because it's very logical. You have this category, this type, and this subtype. And then based on that, with these centers, which will never change, but the combination of them and which centers are defined and what channels are open is different from each and every person. And knowing about those things and how they act depending on what they have gone through in life so far will give me a very positive or strong indication of where to start in order to make them see what they have to do. Because that's also a thing. They have to see what they have to do. They have to review what they've done so far and seeing how they feel in different situations. And based on that, they have to see if they want to do it differently. So I like that. I love this because it's such a logical system compared to astrology. And I've used this specific sentence many times. But if I was to open up a fortune cookie and read the note, and it said that tomorrow you will go out of your front door and a pigeon will shit on your head, and this is a sign of abundance, then I will be like, that sounds very vague, and I'm not sure how to apply that. But if I know what I'm most apt to be like in terms of where my flow is and what I should do in order to feel like myself and feel fulfilled and motivated, it's a lot easier for me to review times in my life where I haven't been and times in my life where I have done things that was basically in the chart and see how that worked out for me. So right now, I know that I'm a hermit. I'm a heretic and a hermit. And when I leave to do the things that I feel like doing, like just being in nature around a campfire and just be there alone and reflect, then people will start to invite me. People usually send a message or something and I get back. So if I go on my trips, it's basically my path to success, because if I just block off everyone else, I come back to people who have invited me, which is pretty insane. But listen, guys, I have a meeting in 20 minutes and I should be preparing for that. This was a 2-hour-long stream, and I appreciate you for being here for this long. Thank you so much for being here. Did you like human design? Isn't that something that is pretty freaking amazing? And also, I'm going to start to, I am an entrepreneur and I look for ways to increase my income always. And this is a very specific purpose or a specific service. So for people who wants to get a reading down the line, it's going to cost money because it's going to take a lot of my time as well. But also just giving them their chart. They're actually like a full-fledged deep chart that they can use to kind of go through and have a indication of where they need to go. That's something that I'm going to start doing because this just changed my life. It's one of those things that's just going to give me a huge compass in life, and I look forward to dive into it. Thank you for the interesting stream. I really liked human design, and I will dive deeper in it. I know you will because it's amazing. All right, let's see if this works yet. There we go. So actually, I'm going to just do like this and just say we have reached the end of the line. Thank you so much for being here. I love your face. And I'll see you in the next one. And for the tribe, you know where to find everyone. We're in the Discord. Go in there. Engage. Do the thing. Don't just sit there and not do the thing. Love your face.